sunshine and I'll shit on your parade. Don't get me started on doing Michael Caine. My opinion matters, yours will fall in last place. I'm not shutting up and you'll be learning my name. Fifth in the family, but first in my mind. 1 out of 10, but I'm ranking just fine. We've only got now, there's no afterlife. Look, Mom and Dad, I'm just speaking my mind. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. Everyone's coming on Kyle tonight. Wait, what? No, nobody's coming on Kyle tonight. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. You can't shut this mouth, but you're welcome to try. I only stop talking to drink, smoke, or eat and cry. I'll never shut up, gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. You can't shut this mouth, but you're welcome to try. I only stop talking to drink, smoke, or eat and cry. I'll never shut up, gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die.
I do not, but hey, we are live here with episode 9 of season 5 of Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up. I am your host, Kyle Mocha. Thank you all for tuning in here live on YouTube, or if you're listening in the future on YouTube, Stitcher, you know, what are the other ones we got? Spotify, the iTunes, anything like that. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. We have a very, very, very fucking awesome special show in store for you this evening. But first, joining me as always in the downstairs chair right there, Mr. Justin Olimpado is here.
Hey, man.
How's your day been, brother?
Good.
Having a good day?
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah,
today.
dude, it's been annoyingly warm for November.
Yeah.
We were talking about this earlier. It's been like...
I mean, we had some warm moments last November.
Yeah, but this one's like a whole week straight
Yeah.
of warmth, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying only having to wear a hoodie.
What's up, Rich?
And a flannel once in a while. We got a Richer Blackmore in the room. What's up? We're going to have a good turnout tonight. We are going to have a great turnout tonight. Zach's going to be joining us any minute now, but a lot of the reason that we're going to have such a great turnout is our special guest this evening.
Who's
we
here?
are now joined by the Walt, Hardcore Walt, Big Walt, whatever you want to call him. Walter Phillips is here. I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna introduce you as this. I look at you as you're kind of like the godfather of the local scene.
Not
you're
the
somebody.
godfather.
You're
The grandfather.
the grandfather. I'll take that.
Richie Crutch is the godfather.
Okay.
Richard
I'm not
Crutch.
Italian. I'm
All
not
right,
Italian.
you can't take that.
I'm the grandfather.
The grandfather. I'll give you that. Then the grandfather of the local scene. You literally. We're gonna get into your whole story later on. But
Rich is already bringing up your table. He says there's a lot of great stuff sitting on that table.
Oh
next to you.
yeah, there's gonna be a lot of talking about a lot of crazy shit that most of it I won't remember. There are a handful of things over there that I definitely know, including that Wasteland Babies, Crutch. Yeah. Oh fuck.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys, it's gonna be fucking throwback central this evening.
Yeah.
And Walt, you might recognize him from every show you've been to in the Poconos for the last 30-something years.
Yep.
You might notice him for ticketing you on Main Street as well.
But we weren't going to bring that up.
We're not going to bring that up. We're not bringing any of
I'm the
that
nicest
up.
meter maid
The
ever.
nicest. I left a note on my car once because the meter had been ripped out of the ground. And I left a note And inside the note, because I left it on an envelope, I left a bunch of quarters, and then I just took a picture of it and posted it to Facebook and tagged Walt in it. And I went, "Hey, just so you know, there's no meter, so here you go. I'm leaving you some fucking."
Yeah, I would have missed it because not seeing a meter there, I definitely would have ticketed you anyway.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for that note. So I realized that there was no meter there.
There's no meter. It's crazy. I don't know how it got ripped out, but yeah, I'm always looking out for people in their quarters.
We got Don H chiming in. He says, "Grandfather, because you old as shit, bro."
I am old.
You are old. This is going to be fun because now Justin finally has somebody on the show that's almost as old as him. Justin is 79 years old. He's a 79-year-old man.
Climbing up that
You
hill.
keep getting older every week, I think. Every week you're getting older and older. But Zach's upstairs working on our Brunch Weekly Original Single. We're sticking with the Americana sound right now. We got 2 songs left in the Americana. Next week, we'll be wrapping up with our 100th overall episode ever. We'll be wrapping up and I think
cool surprises for that episode.
Well, we have some surprises, but I'm pretty sure that that's the song that he's including the fart noises I've been recording for him.
Oh.
Did you do any of those?
No, I wasn't told to.
He asked. Oh, okay. He asked me, "Can you?" Or it was in the group chat, and you didn't see.
Zach apparently deleted all of the sick piano.
Oh no! He redid it. Okay, he redid it. All right. But yeah, we're gonna be doing something with some fart noises maybe next week. Who knows? All I know is that for a couple of days I was waking up, and if I had drank anything the night before and had some beer shits about to happen, there's always the precursor gas. So I just kept rolling over, picking up my phone, and instead of using video or audio only, I would take a video of just me farting. But it's just like a shot of my bed from real close, and then just like the weirdest. My farts in the morning sound is fucking weird. They've been sounding really weird for the last 2 days because we ate too much fucking cheese on Saturday. We'll get to that a little bit more when Zach. But Zach turned 30. He had a 30 cheese party.
It was
so we
good.
had 30 types of cheese. It was amazing.
There's never enough cheese.
All the cheeses, all of the fucking locally hunted and prepared meats.
Yeah.
So many tube meats.
Yeah, Denny had his pickled beef.
Oh, the pickled beef. Yeah.
It was fucking delicious.
And there was just a lot of good sausage and stuff. So I have been farting a lot and not shitting regularly.
Makes me want to live here.
It's a good place to live. Shits and farts and meats and cheeses.
I miss it.
What else do you need? What else do you need in life? But it's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy week for all sorts of reasons.
Yeah.
And I feel like to not hark on the weather too much, maybe 2020 was like, hey, this week's going to be fucking nuts. This whole week from last Tuesday on. I forget what happened last Tuesday. But it was like, it's going to be a fucking nuts week. So the weather just decided we're going to fucking really...
Yeah, we're going to give you spring.
We're going to give you a break right here in the middle of November.
We need it.
Yeah. It's fucking... I don't know.
That was... Trump's taking credit. Wait. This is in Trump's taking credit for the weather.
He's taking credit for the weather. There you go. He's taking credit for the weather.
What's he tweeting?
He's tweeting, it's sunny out. You're welcome. But we do have a very awesome featured band this evening. With Walt being here and knowing Walt from the hardcore scene, I wanted to try to find something that was in the vein of hardcore metal, something like that. So I found a French hardcore band called Beyond The Styx. At first we thought they were going to be a Styx cover band and that they were just playing things like in a different way, but it's not. They're just a regular hardcore metal band from France. I enjoyed it. It's a very
fun.
It's a very approachable hardcore song. So we're going to get into that.
It's pretty much everything I grew up listening to.
Yeah. And we started listening to a lot of the bands that we have coming up over the next couple of months. I've been making a big push to book as many bands we can possibly get, to the point where we might start having to do like 2 or 3 musical breaks, and we keep getting the response.
Which is good. Keep sending stuff in.
Yeah, man. If you're a band, if you're a musician, an artist, anything like that, I don't care what style of music you play. If you're listening to this and you have music, send it to km.won'tshutup@gmail.com with a little write-up of yourself. And we'll get back to you and we'll feature you guys. Yes. We've had bands from Australia, bands from Italy, bands from fucking Norway, Sweden, all over the place. And we just like to share as much music as we possibly can.
Why can't we just do PA bands, bro?
We could do PA bands.
We could do a whole thing.
We could do just PA.
What is going on? You got to represent the hometown.
We do a lot of PA, but then we reach out because we like Australia as well. We got this big kick of Australian music. There's this band Cosmic Psychos that I really fucking love. King Gizzard Wizard and the Wizard Lizard, Passenger of Shit, like just random fucking bands that we just got really
the Lion
into.
King. What's up,
and we now are trying to be as international as we possibly can.
International!
And that sound means that we are now joined by Mr. Zachary Storman. All right, Zachary Storman is here.
In chat we got Walter from Leaf
Walter
J.
from Leaf J. Oh, is that Check Mike? Is that a
Checkmate.
Checkmate? Oh,
This is so vulgar. I love it. Brittany.
all right, Brittany. Welcome everybody for listening along. Now we've got a lot of talking to do tonight. And we've got a lot of drinking that we need to do tonight, and some of it's not really that awesome. So why don't we jump right into what are we drinking?
Water.
We drink it so you don't have to. Review it in the morning from the bathroom. Cheap booze and craft brews. Review it in the morning from the bathroom. Why do we drink it? Why do we drink it? Yeah!
All right, guys, we're going to be drinking and sipping on some beer. We have two featured beers. Walt brought a bunch of beer, but we've got two featured beers that, you brought a nice little sampler of beers.
I don't drink anymore.
He doesn't drink anymore. So that's perfect because we're going to jump to this Miller 64 extra light beer. Walt, they're on the stool next to you there if you want to give this a sipper with us. I've already had about 7 of these. So I can just tell you right now what I think my rating is, and it's 35. This is
On a scale of 100 to water.
0 to 100. On 0 to 100, this is a 35 because it is a flavorful and crisp with only 64 calories, 2.8% alcohol by volume.
Although if
And how much was it for a case?
$26
$26.
$26 for 30.
30.
This doesn't have a taste.
This is water.
no taste.
It is water, right?
But on a hot day, like an extremely hot day, this would be a good beer to just
you
drink
didn't-
some water.
You didn't realize this was that low.
We
right?
did it. We had no idea until I went, this does just taste like water.
I just saw the case of Miller 64. I was like, oh, we did Miller, but we haven't.
We haven't done
But
that.
this is not MGD 64.
No, this is Miller 64
Miller.
extra light
Yeah.
beer. So whatever the D is, the draft there, the Miller Genuine Draft, you need the genuine draft part of this because this is literally, if you were working on a hot summer's day, you could drink 40 of these, be hydrated and not drunk. Zach's already done with beer number 1. That's how easy it is to drink.
Yeah.
But I rank it 35. I want to see what you guys are ranking it here. Zach, you already slammed one down. What do you give it on a scale of 0 to 100?
I think if it had the same alcohol as regular beer, it
Yeah.
would taste just like Coors Light.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Coors Light, but
Yep.
but it won't get you drunk as fast as Coors Light.
No, you
I
need to
don't-
drink
No, definitely
twice as many
What
of
did I give
these.
Coors Light?
I don't remember. We didn't do Coors Light. We have not done Coors Light on
No?
this ranking yet. Yeah.
Well, whatever. This is going to be half of Coors Light.
Yeah.
I like to think I give Coors Light a decent score, so this is going to get a 30.
30. All
30,
right.
all right.
Justin, 0 to 100. Where do you rank this piece of shit?
I mean, it makes sense as to why it's so light. I don't think it's as terrible.
It's not terrible. It's just pointless.
Yeah, it's pretty pointless.
Yeah.
But as a beer, an 18.
An 18. All right, Walt, you want to throw in your ranking on this? 0 to 100.
Well, if someone put this in a glass and said it was a glass of water,
Yep.
I'd be like, hey, thank you.
I think you left a little bit of beer in that water, but we're all right.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I guess because maybe I drink too much like darker shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to rank this, so like I'll just go with a -1.
Negative one, and
That's our
it'll be
first negative.
included.
All right.
We've not had a negative yet. All right, now you do have sitting right next to you. You have a Mickey's. Mickey's. We all know you as a guy who has enjoyed Mickey's. Yo, bro,
A TMC
Mickey's.
crew, brother.
You like the Mickey's. Do you still drink Mickey's on the regular, or is it a special occasion?
Absolutely not.
Not? No.
Okay.
No.
So this is a very special occasion
is.
for you tonight.
It's all about the nostalgia.
Nostalgia night. You
I
got to bring
cannot-
it back.
I cannot drink a Mickey's. I cannot drink a case of Mickey's because my Mickey's mud.
Yeah.
If you know what Mickey's mud is.
No, I don't.
You don't know what Mickey's mud
No.
is.
I
Everybody-
guess.
Is this the next morning?
It is.
Thank
it
you.
could
Okay.
be. It could be during.
I got it. During the night. Yeah.
Shit.
The next day was just too brutal. How I drank this beer.
Yeah.
for so many years after the case.
When did you get introduced to Mickey's? Was it like your teenage beer, like into early years of drinking?
Honestly, man, it was those days where I was pushing. I wasn't 21 yet, though. I was maybe like 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, walked around the mall begging for change. You know, hey, man, let me get some change, get some beers, whatever. And Mickey's back in the day was like maybe $8 to $9 a case.
Jesus.
You know, tops.
Yeah.
It only got popular because some moron on MTV's Real World started drinking it. Then all of a sudden,
It's always what happens. Someone says it in a song, or they drink it in a music video.
$8 to like freaking $20, and House of Pain sang about it. Didn't even get that expensive when House of Pain sang about it. But when the Real World came on, and this guy was drinking Mickey's, like, yo, what's that?
Just
beer?
skyrocketed.
Oh,
it's like PBR
it.
15 years ago. All of a sudden, it just became the most expensive, and it's like, why? Like, you used
to
to get it for $14 a case.
They used to make 22s. Besides the 22s were the shit, man.
Oh, nice.
Back in the CC's days at the convenience store was badass. We used to get 22s for $1.25.
Damn.
Jeez.
Okay, $1.25.
And that's got to taste better, than spending $1.25 on, a Natty Daddy. Because I'll buy a 25-ounce
they were
Natty
the
Daddy.
perfect size to fit in your pocket to walk in the club. Sorry,
Fuck
mom
yeah.
and pop CC's. I always stuck me as a man. But
it was only 7 years ago. They can't do anything to you.
So we got Jesus Christ, when you're coming by to have a drinking night. I've heard Kyle loves horror movies from Greg Pelkin.
Oh,
over at Pop-Up Designs.
Me? I do not. I enjoy horror movies later. I don't enjoy them while I'm watching. I enjoy them later when
Afterwards?
I'm thinking back on them.
Oh, I got you.
Like, oh, okay, that wasn't terrible and terrifying, but it was. I'm always crying at the end of horror movies because I just can't.
At least
handle
you'll sit there. Fasano will get up and walk away.
Yeah, no, I'll sit there. I'll do I'm looking off to the side or whatever side. Like I saw It 2 in fucking theaters. Not that scary of a movie, but there are certain parts where I was just like, and I'm closest to this wall, so I'll just kind of look over at that wall and pretend that I fell asleep, and then I just usually fall asleep. All right, we got beer number 2 here, guys. Evil Genius Beer Company has brewed a beer called Cool Story, Bro. Can you say that for me, Walt?
yo, cool story, bro.
Thank you. Blood Orange.
I don't got one of them. What the fuck, bro?
Oh, over on your table on that side. There you go. You got that guy. All right. So I'm hoping this one tastes a little bit more like beer.
I hope it has beer in it.
This one has actual beer in it. It is a company that I've never really been super disappointed by. They always have really sweet names for their beverages. And I did not check the ABV on this. Nice toss. This is a 32 IBUs and a 6.6. All right, so this should taste like beer.
Stinks.
Oh, it does have a nice little stank to it. I like it. Blood Orange Pale Ale.
I don't like pale ale.
Cool story, bro.
Oh, it's a great stink. I love it. Oh, it's good.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it's got a little bit of the bite at the back.
And that doesn't suck.
That is fruity in enough of a way that you might want a beer to have some fruit on there. It is more blood orange than most blood orange beers.
It's almost grapefruit
It
flavored.
is. Definitely
Like,
has
almost
it.
has that.
I took a nice big swig of that one.
Isn't blood orange and grapefruit really similar, though?
I would assume
I feel
so.
like they're almost the same thing. I feel like if you take an orange and a grapefruit and combine them, you get a blood orange, but I don't know how
I feel like half the
botany
shit
works.
they put in beers you don't eat on a normal basis.
Yeah.
No.
Dude, is it
I mean,
me or is
you-
just like getting a blood orange just sound like something you should have did?
Yeah.
You know, man.
Or something you shouldn't do.
If
I
you
got
never
the
got a
blood
blood orange from
Yeah.
a chick, you should
Yeah.
get a blood orange
You
from a
should
chick.
definitely get it. If the girl's offering you blood orange,
Go for it.
marry that girl. I enjoy this. I do think this is
do
pretty
too.
good. I'm gonna give this because it's not an IPA. It's just a pale ale.
I'm digging it.
I'm gonna say that I'm gonna give this I'm saying a 73. I'm gonna give this guy a 73.
Passing grade.
It is passing. I feel like I could drink this more than I could drink something that is grapefruit because I don't have the immediate acid reflux from
Right,
it.
right.
Justin, what are you thinking on this guy?
I'm very close. I like 78.
78. It's a little bit higher than I would have given it because I gave it a 73. And Zach, what are you thinking on
72.
this? 72. We're all liking this. All right, so let's jump over to Walt. Not usually a pale ale type of guy.
I hate pale ale.
You don't go fruity usually.
Rolling Rock
Yeah.
sucks my big bag.
You don't. Oh, that's a staple
Rolling
here.
Rock is
That's a staple
yeah,
in this.
horrible, bro.
Come on, Latrobe, you gotta support PA, man.
They make it in
It's
Jersey.
They make it in
it's
Jersey.
the only beer I would not support from Pennsylvania.
All right.
I'm surprised I like this as much as I do, man.
Hell yeah. For a pale ale, on a scale of 0 to 100, where would you put it?
Ooh. I'm digging it, bro.
Yeah?
I don't think I'd buy it,
Okay.
but I'm digging it.
You're digging it.
I'm gonna give it, man. I'm gonna give it an 85.
85.
Damn.
You know, for a guy that doesn't like pale ales, to like a pale ale, you got to
Something
grade
about
it as
this,
it is.
man.
It's
Might have been
not-
from all the other beers I drank, and my freaking
and
palate's a
going
little
from
weird.
that water shit that we
Maybe.
just tasted
Yeah.
to this.
Anything's better than that.
Everything's better than that. I might have to, during the song, go get other beers from the refrigerator because we just have water over here.
Yeah, that's true. We do.
But
I don't even think it was
speaking of,
refrigerated. Was it refrigerated?
This was refrigerated,
Yes, it
yes.
I didn't taste
Yeah.
refrigerated after the first sip.
Yeah.
But it's getting better.
It
It's
does.
even better.
I like
Yo,
it.
85? I'm going 86.
86. All right. Up in it, up in it, up in it. All right, guys. Well, as I spoke on earlier, we do have a featured band tonight. The band is called Beyond The Styx. They are from Tours, France. So, not Tour de France, Tours, Tours, so like Tours, France for people that aren't pretentious like me.
I have no idea what
They're
you're
not
talking
bad.
about. Never heard of it.
For our
The song-
number one country,
They
besides
are.
America.
France is the number one country that views our show besides people in the
Really?
United States. We are assuming that's VPN related.
Viva la France.
Viva la France,
Yeah.
but I'll take
Which
it.
one of you are watching?
Yeah,
from
which one of
France?
you's got a VPN? It's a VPN, right?
VPN.
Write us,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Write
I'm
us.
saying that right. I said it with such confidence and immediately went, I said that 3-letter thing wrong. It's a VPO, isn't it? God damn it. God damn it, I don't know what I'm saying. But the song you're going to be hearing is called Danse Macabre, and it's a little bit older of a song. This is from 2 years ago, but when I hit them up and said I was looking for a hardcore band, they said this is our most popular song to date.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's jump right into it. If you like what you hear, check them out at Beyond The Styx on Instagram and find them wherever you can find music online. Here is Danse Macabre.
It's
Enjoy.
Heavy. It's heavy.
All right, there you have it. That is I mean, it's a bit of a ripper. It's a shorty, but it is a ripper. And Zach, you pointed out that guy's mustache is amazing.
Yeah,
That guy's mustache is. I do find it fun to notice. I was looking at a bunch of international hardcore bands. The look of a hardcore kid, depending on what era you come from, seems to be kind of universal. Because there's a band from Colombia that I was talking to, and the guys from France, and I was looking at their pictures. I'm like, if you told me the French band was from Colombia and the Colombian band was from France, like, I wouldn't know. There's always like the guy with the weird facial hair. There's like the bald guy. There's the guy that can't really grow the beard that's real skinny. And there's always like a fat guy like hanging out with like a real beard, right?
Fat guy hardcore, bro.
You need fat guy. Is there a subgenre of hardcore known as fat guy hardcore?
Absolutely, bro.
Really? What bands are fat guy hardcore?
Early 90s. You're asking me to name bands right now?
Do you have any idea?
No.
Or is it just fat guys you knew that were
There was
hardcore
a band
bands?
that I can't find anymore on the internet. They were called I forget the name of the band right now.
Donuts. We'll just say they were called Donuts.
Dude, that's a girl band, dude. They were really good. They were from
shit.
like Holland, bro. They were badass.
All right.
They had a song, and the lyrics went, stepped on a scale and broke that shit like a vacuum scale or some shit like that, bro. Yes, man. They were like XXX. Spandex, XXX, broke, something like that, bro.
Fuck
Boy,
yeah.
Chris would know that shit, bro.
Fuck yeah.
So bad with names.
All right. Well, again, guys, if you liked what you heard there, go check out Beyond The Styx on Instagram. Find them everywhere for music. But as always, we gather here before the show a couple hours earlier, and we write, record, mix, and master a brand new song in about 3-4 hours, and we premiere it here on the show. That's where Zach was when the show started. He was finishing rewriting keyboard parts
we're recording the keyboard parts.
We're recording because he deleted them.
Because we spent like
that's the first time
minutes.
that's happened. I think that you.
Now I'm even more excited to hear the
right?
song.
Well, I was able to. Because I've been playing keyboards a lot now, I was able to just go right back.
You're tickling them ivories.
Keys.
Oh, ebony and ivory all over them fingertips.
They're made of plastic. It's a synthesizer.
Color-wise. We're going off color-wise now.
Yes.
I don't wonder what these are made out of. On the real piano we have.
Well, it's a 100-year-old piano. I'm thinking that's full elephant tusk right there.
I don't know if that's...
100%.
I think it might just be wood.
You have $5,000 of elephant tusk sitting here, and you guys don't know about it.
Don't tell PETA.
Don't tell PETA.
And the organ upstairs.
Or the hardcore straight-edge kids.
That's my new band. Don't tell PETA.
Don't tell PETA.
We're pro-meat hardcore.
Pro-meat hardcore. I'm down with pro-meat hardcore. I'm pro-meat. I'm hardcore pro-meat.
Yeah.
Now this
one of
song,
you guys were going to be like naked or something. You were supposed to be naked during this.
we can get naked.
Right.
The best thing about clothes is you can always take them off.
Tom Jukebox said,
Yeah.
you do the whole show naked.
Yeah. Always in the nude. Always in the nude.
Did he lie to me?
He lied to you.
Tom Jukebox from the Main Street Jukebox.
Shout out
My
to the
favorite
jukebox.
store ever.
We'll do this. Shout out to the jukebox where the guy lies about people being naked.
Freaking me out.
Tom, you know what? Next time you need the tiki bar wrapped up.
I think Steve-O told me too.
Naked. Well, Steve-O just imagines everybody naked.
Steve-O was naked.
Because, I think he's naked.
He's naked right now.
Most likely. He listens to our show naked with his wiener in hand, just waiting for something awesome to happen.
Say his last name real quick.
I cannot pronounce his last name.
Wizosuski.
Yeah, cannot do that. I try to read it on Jen's Facebook. I'm like, I don't know what that says. So I just like thinking his last name is O.
Yes.
Yeah, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, so
I didn't know he had a last name. He's just always been Steve-O to me since I was a baby.
Moskowski, motherfuckers.
Yeah, man. I met most of the whole family about like 2 weeks ago at his birthday party. Yeah. It was a good time. So tonight's song, we're returning to Yacora. Yacora is a small town in Mexico that we wrote about in our first half of the Americana Super Soul album that we are currently putting out.
Yep.
That song was a story about a man who was running from his past, fell in love with a woman, and had to leave her because his past caught up to him. This is a song that is all about a young man, a young boy, whose father is killed in front of him, and then he takes his knife-wielding skills and goes out and seeks vengeance on the perpetrators of the crime. and ultimately becomes kind of the savior of Yokora. I'm thinking of him as like a Mexican Batman, if you will.
Right.
You ever hear that band Chicano Batman?
Yes.
They're great.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Chicano Batman.
Yeah.
I need to listen to them more. I haven't listened to that in
that's a good
forever.
band.
Also, how do they not get sued? Do they hyphenate it or anything like that? Is it
I mean,
Batman?
who's suing them? Batman?
DC?
Yeah, for the-
and
for the
Chicanos
DC, yeah.
everywhere.
That's fucked up.
Oh, Chicanos and Batman. You got to get on that lawsuit there. Now, as far as the writing of this song, it went everywhere. Yeah. We started off saying that we were going to kind of, like we were doing another tale from Yokora. It was all acoustic guitar based. And then before we could even get to the drum side of things, it had evolved a little bit. But then after the drums and before the vocals, it changed a lot.
Yeah.
Like, building on top of it, we wound up. I'm very curious as to what you were listening to this week, because we pulled from so many different genres, and it is one of the most Americana things you can do is be a melting pot musically, and mix everything you can together. So, what, Zach, were you listening to that led to this?
I was listening to classic
amazing
rock
monstrosity.
all day. I was on a job site, and a lot of times when you're on a job site and there's other crews working, and you got the music on, it's just best to go just classic rock.
Yeah, classic
rock.
No one's gonna yell at you for Led
like,
Zeppelin.
It's 2020.
Yeah.
No one, unless you are maybe 120 years old, are getting upset. Be like, turn that rocket down. Be like, it's the Eagles, you old bitch. Relax.
If the Eagles are too loud,
like,
you're dead.
Yeah,
like,
you're
that's
dead.
Literally what it is.
Yeah.
So
They're too loud of a band. You're not alive.
No,
anymore.
it was classic rock all day.
All right.
Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Eagles,
and the Pink Floyd definitely starts to
Springsteen.
pull through in certain spots. Now, we've not heard what he's done on guitar, on the electric guitar side of things, after I stepped away from vocals and you stepped after the drums and
It's
everything.
all about the keys, though.
The keys on this album, or on this song.
The
And
album, too.
The album as a whole.
I'm feeling good about
The
my
keyboards.
keyboard playing, and that INT number 8 E piano on the DX7 is such a classic
understood that,
sound.
Yes.
Yeah.
If
I mean, it's been
if
embedded
you
in
hear
your
it,
head.
you
for-
definitely
yeah,
go,
when you hear the piano sound,
that
you're like,
tone
oh, I know that.
has been in every song. Again, the DX7 used by Brian Eno, everybody in the fucking 80s using for soundtracks.
Anybody
for
that's
hit
turned on
singles.
Nickelodeon
Dude, I
has
actually,
heard it.
I got
Seriously,
I got an
Rugrats,
email
right off
the other
that.
day from one of the Z-Zounds or whatever
Yeah,
the music
yeah.
sites I buy shit from. It's like, oh, on sale this month. Get that real FM synthesizer. It was like a sale of a
digital
plug-in
package.
versions of that. I just look at them like,
Fuck you, I got the real thing.
we've
Got the
got
real
the real
thing.
thing.
Got
here.
the real thing. Now, Justin, as far as drums on this, I was kind of zoned out into writing the lyrics while you were recording the drums. What was it like for you behind the kit for this one? Was there anything crazy, weird, all over the place?
Just simple.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I go back and listen to Phil's, I'm like, oh, I should have done more. This I wanted to just keep simple and driving.
Hell yeah.
Sort of go with the melody of either the acoustic guitar or the actual piano. But I mean, it's a very simple, steady beat with some extra kicks and shit thrown in. You know what I mean? Like nothing overly complicated.
Didn't break the bank mentally on this.
No, but I think sometimes you just need that.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Now, as far as the vocal side of things, aside from what we are singing about, I was going to approach this like we did the original Tale from Yokora.
Right.
And I was going to go very Johnny Cash with it, very low. And I still do. This is another bilingual approach. So if you're a Spanish-speaking listener, send all of your complaints about my piss-poor Spanish language skills to 123justinsuckspa.com. You write letters, you put them in the mail, it winds up at our website. Don't ask, it just works. And we, so I, by the time I stepped behind the mic to do vocals, it had evolved enough that we were talking about Pink Floyd when we did not think we would be talking about Pink Floyd at the beginning of this song. So I definitely don't do Pink Floyd style vocals, but it helped me kind of step out of the register I was going to go with, and I feel like it makes it a more lively song.
Right.
So without any more delay, and so we can get to talking about all the fun stuff that everybody here is ready to talk about.
Yes.
Let's jump right into our Brunch Weekly Original Single. Did we call it Another Tale from Yakora?
Yeah.
That's the name of it. Another Tale from Yakora. What did we come in at on this one?
408.
Look at this, writing pop songs every week. All right, guys, if you didn't know a pop song just means it's short, here's our pop song, A Tale from Yakora. Another Tale from Yakora. We'll see you guys in just over 4 minutes. Enjoy.
Right before his eyes, those bandits sacked through his home as his father gasped. They fled with the money, left the boy behind. Oh, what a mistake, leaving Gabriel.
Armed and loaded, he went out for the hunt, swearing his vengeance on the evil lot. Your sight to feed, Gabriel promised the men, Mi espada te acabará. This is your end.
Vengeance paid, back to Yakora he rides. On the Sonora hills he keeps a watchful eye.
Caras con su vida, lo que has hecho, nunca me darás atrás, nunca me darás atrás, nunca me darás atrás. Nunca me dejarás atrás.
All right, guys, there you have it. Again, another Tale from Yakora that'll be posted over the next week or so if you are interested in listening to it more. But now we are going to shift all of our attention over to the man of the hour. The reason that most of you are tuned in, he's going to be ready by the time I actually get done introducing him, because you know me and brevity is not my thing. The man here, Walt Phillips. I know him as Hardcore Walt, Old School Walt. I've been impersonating this man since I was 15 years old, and it slowly gets better as my voice gets more raspy. But this guy, it's the smoking that's doing it. This guy has been around since before any of us were involved in the scene. I try to call him the Godfather. He correct me, and he is the grandfather of the local scene, and I think he should wear that with a badge of honor.
I agree.
I would not have met him if not for friends in certain hardcore bands bringing me to hardcore shows and introducing to me this world when I was about 17, 18 years old.
Right.
And ever since then, I remember the first time I met the guy, on to now, you were somebody that I met you and you immediately, you knew who I was, you were good, we met, and I would see you and you'd be like, yo, what's up? You call my little brother Young Buck. You just been here for forever.
That Young Buck?
Yeah, that Young Buck. You've been here for forever. You've been, again, fuck the light. Yeah, everybody hits it.
Don't matter.
But, I don't know how else to introduce you, but we have Walt Phillips here. So big round of applause to Walt for coming out. Walt, you are, again, you are a representative of the hardcore scene for this area. You are from New York, and I've always wanted to ask you thousands of questions, and now I have you here sitting in this chair. So we're going to get into it, and we're going to let you tell everybody here listening in the future
tell me everything.
exactly what made Walt. So I want to, like Justin just said, start from the beginning.
I don't even know if I know that.
Who knows? Maybe we'll uncover it.
You guys made me Walt, you know?
No, I think somebody named you that, and it wasn't me. But where did your where were you when you first got into music on your own, and was it immediately hardcore? Was hardcore your first love, or was there other music on your own before you got into the hardcore?
Before you answer that, I got Chuck in here said, "Don't give me a fucking ticket, bro.
Fucking ticket, bro.
Fuck Chuck Tuhig, bro. He's a pussy. He dances like a fucking.
He dances better than me. We dance at shows sometimes together.
And he skips.
Yeah, that's what I do.
What the hell are you skipping for,
I skank.
bro?
It's called skanking.
He knows.
When I do it.
He knows. He knows the ball busting.
So yeah, what was your first introduction to listening to music, being into music, and how did you get to hardcore?
Yeah, I guess real quick, man, before I get started, man, Sean Johnstone, his dad,
man,
Sean and
all the
Johnstone
love,
family, bro, nothing but love, man. Miss going to shows, my hardcore family, everybody, miss seeing people. Getting older now and shit like that, but just to shout out to people at Main Street Jukebox. Tom, what's up, bro?
You lie about people being naked, but you're still a good guy.
He's a good guy, bro. Except that Chuck guy, get rid of him.
He doesn't listen to anything ever because he keeps it wrapped up.
Fuck that Budweiser. What the hell's his name? What's his favorite band again? Deftones.
Deftones and Budweiser.
Get out of here.
Good old Charlie.
Yeah. Good old. Yeah.
Horrible.
What's wrong with the Deftones?
I love the Deftones.
But, nah, man, my first like metal shit, man, was definitely Ozzy, Maiden, Priest. Once I started getting into like that type of music and stuff, man, I saw like a lot of like really good shows and shit back, when I lived in the Bronx still. Saw Maiden a couple times at Radio City Music Hall. I saw Judas Priest with the infamous, but way before you guys, man, infamous seat cushion, like throwing show, whatever, where people ripped up like 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 seat cushions and threw them like all over the freaking stage.
Really? Fuck yeah.
The Garden decided no more metal shows for quite some time. I'm not sure the exact time, but I know it was a couple years and shit like that. I saw, probably that was it, man, as far as like living in the city, man, because I was only about 16 when we moved up here. So it was like Maiden, Priest, Ozzy, maybe Motley Crue or something like that.
So you left New York a metalhead. You left New York into or
metalhead, just not
on
quite,
the verge
just
of
not
it.
Quite there, thrashing, not quite, really nowhere near hardcore.
And what year around is it when you moved here?
It was 80, 86.
All right, that is the year I was born. So here we go. So now you can tell us everything about this area since I was born.
Hardcore was there in the city,
Yeah.
I guess, because I was so much younger and my crowd was more just straight up, like Scorpions, Priest, stuff like that, man, So I didn't really know.
Metal is a way of life type of people.
Yeah. Agnostic Front was already there. The Cro-Mags were already there. Murphy's Law was already there, but I didn't know that yet. I didn't experience CBGBs until I was already living in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I didn't discover the Pipeline, City Gardens, the Marquee, Coney Island High, like big clubs in Jersey and New York City until I really moved up here. L'Amour's in Brooklyn, places like that I didn't experience until really living up here. My only claim to fame, and I don't remember, man.
All right. I always love those stories.
There was a place in Yonkers, New York called shit, man, I'm not gonna remember the name of it now. My friend Freddie Kimmer and my New York City friends would know who he is. Man, he was a bass player, hung out with all the big shots. Never really made it in a band, whatever. But he was the first guy that turned me on to like a lot of early Metallica, Slayer, stuff like that. I remember getting a Slayer album before I moved up here, but I had no idea who the fuck they were.
Yeah,
man, you know what I mean. It was like Satan shit, man. I loved Maiden. Maiden was all about Satan. So I checked it out, whatever. But he brought me up to, I was trying to hope that I remember the name of it while I did like a little piece to it. But he brought me up there, and Anthrax was basically just beginning, and MOD was still kind of like being thrown around there.
Yeah.
It was after SOD and shit like that. And I guess I saw the very, very beginning of MOD with sort of like them turning over to the Anthrax sort of stuff.
That's cool.
Shit.
The Rising Sun. That was the name of it. I'm pretty sure that was the name of it. But I was probably 13, 14 years old. I probably drank a half a beer and got wasted. Whatever. But it wasn't until I moved up here when I hung out with a couple guys and stuff, like, yo, you ever hear Agnostic Front? I'm like, nah, not really, man. They put that shit on, and I was like, wow, man.
So when you moved up here in the mid-'80s, was the local scene mostly hinged on hardcore, or were they accepting of the hardcore York, and the metal stuff? Like, did people around here like the metal? Did they think it was, fake mainstream shit? What was the feel on it?
I don't think it was a scene when I first moved up here. I remember going to Strasbourg High School, finishing out my junior and senior year. Even the metalheads wore like sweaters and penny loafers.
Okay.
They were like down for the scene. But they just didn't look the scene. I moved up here, my hair was actually long.
Shit.
I wore, funny story, man, I wore freaking my motorcycle jacket with the zippers and shit like that, with a dungaree vest over it, with a painted Iron Maiden Killers.
Ooh.
Not a patch.
Yeah.
Painted.
Did you paint that yourself?
I did not.
Oh.
I did not. But the actor, Kevin Corrigan, who you might know as Uncle Eddie from Grounded for Life, was my childhood friend.
Really?
That's cool.
That guy played Christopher Walken in a movie.
He was in Goodfellas.
And he's in Goodfellas. Mm-hmm. He is fucking brilliant. He is my favorite part of Grounded for Life, for sure.
Dude, I'm glad
he was on Community.
Yeah,
he
man.
was brilliant on Community.
That's my boy, bro.
He is fucking... That is so awesome.
Cool.
That is so cool.
I still have the vest. It was his third one he ever did. It was Iron Maiden Killers.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I moved up here. I had the thing on, right? Strasbourg High School. In the tail end of '86, you got to realize this, man. Mm-hmm. All right, there was nobody around looking like me, bro. Yeah. Nobody.
A lot of glances your way walking down Main Street.
I walked in there and I'm standing, just hanging, whatever, man. This girl, Darla Harris, who I'm friends with, she walked up to me, straight up, man, and she's like looking me up and down. She goes, "You got some problems."
Was she right? Was she
She
right?
absolutely was right, man,
Big up.
So what? I was already like, 15, 16, smoking weed, eating mescaline, whatever. But that's another story. But that was my, metal, and then met guys like that. But there was nothing, man. There was a cover metal band called Inhibitor.
All right.
From Mount Pocono.
Kind of a cool name.
That played the Sherman before, way before.
Was it a porn theater at this point, or not yet a porn theater?
I don't think so, man.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
and they played like Metallica covers, but the good Metallica.
Right.
Fuck
you know, Slayer covers and stuff like that. But that was it, man. You know.
Yeah.
You said good Metallica. What is your definition of good Metallica?
Before the Black Album.
Okay.
Pre-Black.
I'm with
All
you.
right.
I'm with you.
Come on, man. You really need to ask that, bro.
Well, I'm just asking. You
What
know,
about
I just wanna know.
Reloaded or whatever that fucking
Is that a Metallica album?
Yeah.
Load and Reload.
It was like 96, 97. What is? Oh god.
Yeah, no one cares.
Saint Fury. What is it? Saint Anger.
Saint
Anger.
Anger. It might as
That
well be
album's not
Saint
horrible.
It's
The music's good. The vocals suck.
Yeah.
James
I can't
needs to
do
be
it.
fuced up.
I can't deal with that snare sound, dude. That fucking sounds like he's.
Yeah.
I don't know what it even sounds like. Sounds like he's fucking beating a barn door or something.
So
So
when
listen,
you,
I love everybody.
Yeah.
I want to beat the shit out of Lars.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like
Real,
that.
real quick, I have Charlie actually in chat. He
What?
says Deftone
No
and
way.
Budweiser are a match made in heaven.
Fuck Budweiser.
all right, there you go, and that's the response. If you'd like to respond in person, just show up one day.
I like how Charlie's name.
Charles
on this
Pistons Jr.
is his like
Charles
Christian
Pistons
name.
Jr.
His full
Yeah,
on.
his
So
name.
you
full
know,
name.
you know,
You know-
Charlie is here.
Hey, Charlie, you could make up any name you
Yeah,
want.
like I don't open records could be your name. Like I buy records and never open them could definitely be your name on here.
I still want that box.
Look behind your back, Charlie. I'm coming after you, bro. You know what I mean, too.
Oh, he's coming. Now, so you moved here. You got introduced to a couple of bands like Gnostic Front, other bands that you threw out there. When did the local scene here start kind of picking up for you? When were there bands? When were there shows? When did that really start happening in your life?
I think I hooked up with a couple guys.
Yeah.
Good friends of mine and stuff that I still keep in touch with. My friend Eddie, you know, we traveled, man. You know, not real far. You know, Wilkes-Barre,
Sure.
maybe down to Allentown or something like that. There was a club back in the day called the Airport Music Hall. Everybody played there.
All right.
Everybody freaking played there. You know, Suicidal Tendencies, Creator, Faith No More played there a couple times.
Shit.
I saw them. The Ramones played there.
Fuck.
The first show I saw there was a band called Manowar.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know
hell
Man of
Whoa.
War.
All right.
That was my first show at the Airport Music Hall and stuff like that, way back in the day. But yeah, that was like my first taste of it, man. Then I met a couple guys, and they're the ones that turned me on to a lot of records and stuff like that, like, you know, Warzone, Chromags, you know, Murphy's Law,
Hell yeah.
you know, stuff like that. Then when Biohazard first hit the scene,
Okay.
Yep.
that was it. That was it.
That
man.
became kind of was at that point were they kind of the end all be all for you or for?
I mean,
the
Sick
scene?
of It All is my if I had to pick a favorite hardcore band.
Yeah.
There's a lot of close second bands, you know,
Yeah.
whatever. But Sick of It All was
Right.
whatever they did was just gold to me.
Now, when did you get into them? When was the first introduction? Was that obviously after moving here?
It wasn't their demos, because their demos came out probably, you know, like 86, 7, whatever. It was
Okay.
probably like 89, 88
Hell yeah.
was when I first started getting into, like, you know, Sick of It All, AF.
So you're getting into hardcore around the time that the mainstream world, to put it in like the scope of the mainstream music, is leaving metal behind and moving towards grunge.
Basically,
so
yeah.
You get kind of that. I always like to look at what was going on the mainstream level versus the underground level, because I remember being a kid and like knowing music that my dad listened to, and I could buy him an Eagles CD, I could buy him a fucking Chicago CD. That was shit that he liked. But I always thought, am I buying him like the Creed of his era? Does he really like this, or am I just thinking this is a band that existed when you were younger? If I were to try to buy a present record for somebody that liked music in 1989, I'd probably go, well, they probably either liked metal or they liked grunge. But there's a whole subgenre and a subculture with the hardcore scene that doesn't fit into either of those pigeonholes there.
I mean, you had a weird movement in music once the grunge scene hit. You had people looking at metal when they were like, oh shit, you like metal because you're either dressed up like hair metal.
Yeah.
Or you're dressed up like a Metallica fan, you know, wearing specific things. And then you have a band like Pantera who's like, fuck that, we're going to wear jeans and a shirt.
Yeah.
And just be comfortable playing, and then spawn a whole different stylization.
The crossover back in my time, the show, like, you guys don't experience, like, when you guys go to shows, like, you know, be honest. You go to shows, you're like going to see a band play, you're going to drink some beers, you're going to smoke some weed, you know, do your thing, except for you.
Never.
You know, right. But, you know, when I went to shows and there was the crossover thing going on, so you had the thrash heads, you had people just going to see a show for a good time, and you had,
I totally miss that, dude.
And you had the skinheads.
Yeah.
Okay?
I miss finding new music that way. Like finding a
those
band.
Those shows though, like before you even got there, to drive down, the adrenaline was pumping. Like, you're like, wow, man, yo, besides going to see the bands play, which that's what you're going to see, but you knew something was going to break down because of the different subcultures that was happening within that crossover scene going on, with having, you know, a Sick of It All, Agnostic Front, or a Sheer Terror playing with an Exodus, or playing with some thrash band, and you knew something was going to break down, man. You know?
Yeah, because, I mean, when I entered the scene, like, I didn't get into local music until about, like, 2000, 2001. I'm 14, 15 years old, start going to local shows. At that point, we would have a show, and there'd be a ska band, and then a punk band, and then an emo band, and then a screamo band, and then another punk band, and then a better punk band, and then a really good punk band. We'd have, like, 7 shows, but there would be 5 genres of people there, and it was, I don't really remember much of it ever coming to blows or anything like that, but it was always just kind of like, I sit on this side of the room and I look like this and I look over at you guys, and we kind of, I even brought it up with Steve-O when he was on the show, where it'd be like, I used to hate you from across the room.
Mark.
Like, I used to just kind of shit talk from across the room, not knowing you at all, being a little fuck-ass little 14-year-old kid, and being like, no, they're here for the sex machines. And sure they are. Yeah, fuck them. I'm here for my friend's emo band, and I thought I was better. So was there a lot of animosity between the different sides?
I used to play shows. I remember playing shows and having the band right before us, because we were, I don't even know what genre. Like, we were trying to mix Deftones with fucking Bush and other shit. And other bands are like, look at these fucking assholes. Then the band that just played literally grabbed garbage cans and chuck them on stage at us. Like, that shit happened.
So what kind of coming to blows would happen at these shows? Like, would it always boil over, or would a lot of them be kind of, like, decent and
drink it later, sir? I may drink some of that, actually.
But what was, like, the dynamic at those shows in the
depended on where you
late
went.
80s, early 90s?
It depended on where you went, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I always felt safe going down to, like, the city, you know, going to Lemore's in Brooklyn. That was my club, man.
Okay.
I mean, never went one time living in the city, but when I moved up to Pennsylvania, we went down all the time. Man. It was always Biohazard, Monkey Pup, Life of Agony. Anytime Life of Agony played somewhere, man, we just drove, and didn't matter where they were playing, within like a 2 to 3 hour radius. You know, that's where we went, man. You know, but it was more the Airport Music Hall down in Bethlehem, the Unisound in Reading. It was a lot of local shows, man, where like you had that Nazi white power kind of thing going on. You had people like me that knew what was going on. Then you had people that had no clue what was going on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, so you know, it was a very mixed crowd, but the crowds were, it didn't matter who played.
Sure.
It was packed.
Fuck yeah.
You know, so you got like the Nazis, you got the people that knew what was going on, so you knew there was like something going on. Then you had people that had no idea what was going on. There was when I don't exaggerate, man, when I say there was fights, there was fights during the whole entire show, man.
Jesus, yeah.
The whole entire show, man. Towards like 88, towards like, you know, like 2000 something.
Yeah.
You know, until we all decided like, yo, we got to get the fucking Nazis out this fucking
Yeah. Now, locally, speaking specifically locally, the Poconos, Lehigh Valley, Scranton, however you want to break that down, what were the first big bands that you either got involved with, became friends with, that were starting to make this local scene? Because we were talking earlier that throughout kind of, really up until now even, music that comes out of our area doesn't ever seem to kind of get the credit that it deserves. If you're not from New Jersey, if you're not from New York, I don't know what it is, but there's some
quick
little
stop.
Yeah, we're just a little. There's a little divide there. So, what were the bands that first came out locally that you were exposed to, that were born and bred around here, that were building our local scene up to the scene that my generation would bastardize and destroy? What was happening? Like, who was making the music that you loved here back then?
First of all, man, Pennsylvania, we always kept it down. First of all,
I agree with that.
Before I even mentioned any bands, it didn't matter what was going on outside our area. We always had shows, man. Like, New York shut down.
Yeah.
Well, Philly's Pennsylvania. I'm talking like Northeast Pennsylvania.
Right.
Yeah.
Places shut down.
I consider Philly.
We always, whether it was Strasburg,
Yeah.
whether it was Allentown, the Lehigh Valley, whether it was the Wyoming Valley up in Wilkes-Barre, didn't matter, man. There was always shows going on. It didn't matter what the fuck was going. We always had shows, whether it was at a club or at a VFW or an American Legion or whatever, man. We always had shows going on.
Nothing from the underworld yet, Mark. Sorry, Mark.
Mark Miller just joined in, wants to make sure he didn't miss anything about the underworld.
There you go. Yo, Mark's my boy, bro. I love you, bro.
Yeah.
Love you, man. I need
He's a little mean.
I need my garage plowed, bro, but not for like $60 though, man. You gotta hook me up, bro.
$15.
Come on, man.
$15 at Mickey's.
The fuck? You were with him. You were with him, motherfucker. You took half my money. What the fuck? I'm drinking all your beer tonight.
It's just water anyway.
Fucking pussy. Get naked, nigga.
Drink all the Miller 64 you want.
Fuck you.
Now, what were the big bands?
The first band that besides Crutch, and Crutch is my almighty.
Yeah.
The first band I knew was Odds Against.
Okay.
They were a bunch of Bushkill guys. And they were, you know, I didn't really know them at the time, but I'm like, yo, Odds Against, so these guys are cool, bro. You know, listen to their demo, shit was cool. But there was no places to play around here, man. So they always played up in Newburgh. There was a skate park up there. They always played up there and shit. But when I really settled down with the whole hardcore thing, as far as the local scene, was always like Crutch, you know, No Retreat. Those guys,
holy shit,
those guys hooked me up with like outside the area bands. Richie, I owe a debt of gratitude. The Godfather.
Yes, sir.
I owe a debt of gratitude because he turned me on to like a lot more of the local hardcore scene, not just like the outside of the area and stuff like that. And you know, once I hooked up with that guy and went out to shows with him and stuff like that, and we started doing shows like that girl I showed you on that video, that my friend Martha, man. Shout out to you, Martha. So when you see this, you'll fucking know I still talk about you. She did shows at VFWs and American Legions, and we brought up bands like, you know, Everyone Gets Hurt, out of the city and shit like that, man. The first show at Spanky's in Strasburg was a badass show, man. Like, I mean, we can relive this show. I mean, it was Fury of Five, Crutch, Surrounded, No One's Hero, December, Denial. I mean, it was a badass show, man, right? We're thinking like, you know, maybe like, you know, 50 people will show up.
Yeah.
Dude, there was probably, without exaggerating, at least 150, if not more people. Then the very next show we did, Leon Nemokowski, Steve-O's uncle, did the show. He had 25 to Life headlined. Harvest, I think, played. Wasn't as big, but it was still like, yo, man, this is badass, bro.
Right.
We got something going on here.
Yeah.
You know, Spanky's went on further, but without me.
Right.
But the badass bands played there, bro. And that was where it was happening. E-Town Concrete played their first Pennsylvania show there, if I'm mistaken. I'm sorry. Sorry, Anthony. Fuck you. You're an asshole. But don't fucking sue me. But, I mean, from there, it was just, you know, for me, it was just fucking hardcore show in my town at Spanky's. Let's just drink a bunch of beer. You know, smoke a bunch of bowls, not you.
No.
And you know, and let's just have a good time, man.
Hell yeah.
You know?
So Spanky's seems to be the kind of like a place where there was kind of the birth there. What were the other, through the 90s, what were the big venues that you guys were getting to throw shows at here, and how did the scene progress through the 90s? and what bands came out of that.
And now you're talking about when I used to get really fucked up.
Yeah, this is the part where we get a little hazy, right? You get a little hazy.
CC's in Scranton, bro.
Okay, yeah.
You know, that place was my home away from home. I love Bethlehem. I'll never, like, sell that place out. Airport Music Hall, which was skinhead shit, but whatever. But there was a place in Bethlehem called Scarlett's, which is badass. But as far as, like, my hardcore shit, we always had to, like, get together, and we had to head up to Scranton. Whether it was CC's, Home Base, Cafe Metro.
Right.
There was another club up there, really, really small. That's when it first started building momentum, man.
Hell yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and we would have if they booked a big show there, like Hatebreed or you know, bands like that, you know, that were really on the tip of the hardcore scene. I mean, you couldn't move, man. I mean, I went to a show up at Home Base. It was E-Town and Hatebreed. I mean, you couldn't fucking move, bro.
Right.
I mean, you tried to dance a little bit and shit like that, man, but you couldn't fucking move.
Yeah.
There might have been a couple stage divers and stuff like that,
Yeah.
man. And CC's was the shit, man. CC's.
I do want to ask you, just because you bring up the dancing side of things. I'm curious from your standpoint, having been there through kind of like the evolution of not just the music, but the culture around it. Was the evolution of the dancing to music, did that like, there's the picking up pennies, you know, there's the punching the floor, there's the guys just doing two steps, the circle pit and everything like that. Do you remember when, like...
Picking up pennies?
The
The fuck is that?
just picking up pennies off
Picking
the
up
floor?
daisies, motherfucker.
Oh, I just heard picking up pennies off. That's what I always call it, picking up
Yeah,
pennies.
pick the daisies up, man.
All
Give it
right.
a sniff. Pick daisies up. Give it a sniff.
I
Yeah.
agree.
But the...
Picking up pennies.
I always said, maybe I heard someone say it once and misquoted
See,
it
when
for my
I
entire
was a
life.
kid, it was pennies. I must have missed the daisies.
Yeah, I didn't get daisies. It was picking up pennies when I was there.
It's like,
You guys got a little Jewish in you,
A
don't you?
little bit. You pick up all the pennies. I'm just letting you know.
even the tails up ones.
The tails up ones, that
Every
doesn't
penny
matter.
counts.
There's no luck or no bad luck. Yeah. But when because when I started getting into the hardcore scene, the dancing side of things, I would stand to the back of the room with my arm like this. I would listen to the band. I'd have fun. Once in a while, get in a circle pit, and then I'd get out really quick. And usually I would get out real quick because one douchebag was doing fucking karate kicks in the middle of the pit. Was the karate kick, the windmill kick, and all of that, just flinging the arms like a windmill, was that something that was established earlier? Did that do you remember that evolving at all?
Man. I mean, I never did it.
Yeah.
But I did it. You know?
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. It started with the drop.
Okay.
You know, there was bands going back to like the late 80s that did like real chuggy.
Yeah.
So you did like this drop thing.
Okay.
You know? And then all of a sudden I'm seeing these kids. I used to hate it, bro. I used to want to beat dudes up for like karate kicking.
Yeah.
I always did. I
Right.
watched plenty of Friends. I
Right.
mean, Greg from Before Night Falls, his girlfriend at the time, Vanessa Kresge, she got fucking full kicked in the face at a Red Chord show, and it was just like, what the fuck
badass.
just like what the fuck just happened, and then it just became like a thing for the
They
night.
sold out though.
Yeah.
Fucking record. First album's badass. The rest of the shit sucks.
I only ever really listened to them live. I would see them live, and I would probably listen to them in a car with somebody that I didn't know what was
They were
going
good
on.
though, man. The first I saw them live a bunch of times.
Fuck
Good
yeah.
shit.
But that karate kicking thing, that
It
was
did. It did. I
existed.
mean, I started out circle pitting.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
then I saw like the style. You
Yeah.
know, like the old school shit, man.
Yep.
You know, whatever. So I did that a bunch of times. Then I saw a bunch of guys like, yo, man, like, what the fuck? Like, I want to get into that.
Yeah.
I want to do that, man. So I started doing it, man. And I used to fuck people up, bro.
How do you feel
I'm
about
real
Walls
proud
of
of
Death? How do you feel about Walls of Death now?
The new Walls of Death?
Yeah, where they you just
horrible.
split people up and just have them
That's
run
not
straight.
Wall of Death.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, what
But
was Wall of
that's-
Death back then? What would you call an acceptable Wall of Death? Is there an acceptable Wall of Death?
There is.
There is?
There is.
Okay, all right.
It's when we all decided people that were dancing
Yeah.
weren't quite dancing up to our standards.
Okay.
So
there's still an air of arrogance in Wall of Death, no matter what. Okay, as long as it started with arrogance, because I like that.
Because I'd be in there doing something stupid, being wasted, like no, and all of a sudden I get like a tap, like like, come on, let's go. So we go in the back of the room, and we all lock arms.
Yeah,
and it'd be about like 20 of us, 30 of us and stuff. We're just gonna run towards the crowd, man. There was no separation of the crowd.
Yeah.
These metal bands don't have a fucking clue.
Yeah.
I mean, even Sick of It All. I love Sick of It All. They kind of jumped on the bandwagon, the whole like separation or whatever.
Yeah.
Murphy's
It was a moment.
Murphy's
in
Law
time.
did the original Wall of Death, and they sing about it. And that's what it was. Lock arms and run, man. Doesn't matter if there was one of you. Well, there has to be two of you. But two of you
invisible,
or like
invisible.
40
I don't know. We can build a Trump-style wall, a bunch of slats every 8 feet. You
I
know.
was always getting like, knock over this fucking guy, get him out of here,
Yeah.
whatever. But that's how it was, man.
Fuck
Murphy's
it.
Law, bro.
Fuck
Murphy's
it.
Law, man.
Now, in the 90s, what there was some music that got a lot of recognition from around our area. Shout out to the guys, obviously now the Pocono Duo guys.
Yeah.
But back in the day,
What up?
Solution AD, stuff like that. What was
Badass.
was the local environment still conducive to guys like that were making it on their music on the bigger side of things? Were they still getting respect locally and shit along those lines, or was there a kind of a defining line between the hardcore or metal scene and
Did one of
more
those guys
the
put you up to
alternative
this?
rock?
Did one of those guys put you up to this?
Not at all. It literally just popped into my head right now because I'm just thinking about
Jury put you up to this shit, bro?
it. We'll say yes, but no.
Yo, fuck that. Nah, I love that guy.
But was there a divide? Because again, like when I got into music, 8 bands could play with 8 different genres all at once.
Right.
And again, you could have Only on Tuesdays playing, followed by From the Ashes, followed by fucking Straight and Upright, followed by Slightly Askew. Yeah, From the Ashtray. Sorry, Milligan, you know it.
He actually commented. He said, "Yo,
did.
Keith from Odds Against recorded the first From
the Ashes demo,
in a
yeah.
4-track in Spike's basement."
Shit. That's a lot of references in one sentence.
Spike's doing well, bro.
Fuck yeah. But was there a divide between maybe the more alternative rock scene that was maybe burgeoning there?
I
in
gave
the
them a hard
90s?
time.
Yeah.
Every day I walked in the bar, they were playing. I yelled at to play some fucking Maiden, you pussies.
Okay.
And they did.
So you're the original Slayer before everybody yells
That's
Slayer.
the original. I did see Slayer live.
Original
before they were
generation,
headlining.
at least, of people. Because now you walk into a fucking bar and somebody just is playing and some idiot just shouts Slayer. Yeah. And then if they even started to play any Slayer, that idiot wouldn't know what they're talking. They're just yelling Slayer to yell Slayer. Yeah.
Yeah, well. I fucking love Slayer.
Now, Pocono Duo, they're my boys, man.
They're
Yeah,
great.
hell
Always
yeah, I
hooked
love
me up, man.
Pocono.
When they brought Solution back every once in a while, and MJ started playing drums,
Yeah.
I'd walk in there and I'd walk right up to Kevin and fucking Tobes and I'd grab them, bro. Wasted. Like, you don't even understand. Wasted
While
drum.
they're playing.
Grab them. Play me some fucking Maiden, you fucking pussies. And then next song, and he just busts out with some like old Maiden, bro.
Fuck yeah.
And then I saw them. Obviously, I'm an adult now.
Yeah.
Even though I wasn't an adult until I was about 31.
It takes a while.
right.
It
It does take
takes a
some
while.
time.
So I said,
time
listen,
then,
man. I
boys."
said, I'm real sorry about, they're like, listen, man, it wouldn't have been anything different
Right.
until you showed up and you started fucking yelling at us to play some Maiden.
Yeah.
All right, man, because we lived for that. Man.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, thank you. Even though I knew I was crazy out of control,
Yeah.
getting banded from floods for like 20 years.
Oh, we're going to get to that. That is a must-tell that is going to come out. But while we're still talking about like the music scene, the local scene, what would you say for you in your lifetime of experience here in Stroudsburg? What has been... I don't need you to say the best band or the greatest band, but what is...
There isn't a best band.
There's never going to be, because things change constantly, and one band can be amazing and then fall off.
Except
another
for
band
one
comes
person
up.
in the world. Charlie Pishnick.
Charlie Pishnick. There's only one band to Charlie Pishnick.
Fuck Chuck.
Alice in Chains.
Alice in Chains. Yeah, actually, real quick, what do you feel about Alice in Chains? Do you like Alice in Chains?
Is that an X-rated movie or something.
Yeah, okay, good. Thank you. All right, there we go. That was for you, Charlie.
It's not my thing. It's not my thing.
But like you mentioned, Crutch, and you have an array of amazing local memorabilia and hardcore memorabilia with you here tonight. What are kind of your, if you, again, not top one, but maybe like your top handful of bands from the local area that if they were playing right now, you would drop everything in the middle of this interview, walk out, and go see? Who are those bands, local bands, that you just love?
Well, Crutch, number one. I mean, if
I gotta say, Richie Crutch is the first name I heard entering the music scene.
If Richie sang, I would go. If Carl sang, I would go.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Tad bit out of the scene, but I feel they're still like my local scene is a band called Dysphoria.
Okay, I don't know.
Those guys, I think, are one of the bands that was so musically talented, but because we're from Pennsylvania, we never got looked at.
Yeah. Right. Nobody wants music from the honeymoon capital of the world, you know?
But there's one old school band, okay, that besides Odds Against, for me, they weren't from here, they're from Lancaster, but the bass player went to Strasburg High School, John Yankoe, band called No One's Hero.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned them earlier.
You guys should check it out, man.
Oh, yeah.
The band is just to this day, I wish I was in better shape, because if they played tonight, I would want to seriously like dance. Dude. The hardest I would ever dance in my life, but unfortunately, I got some shit going on.
Hey man, I got a couple years less than you, and last year Bigwig played over at the showcase, and it brought me back to being 15, and that's what I was mentioning earlier. Chuck and Steve-O and a couple other guys that were at the show, it just went back to being 15, 16, 17 years old, and we forgot how old we are, and we all just ran and started going crazy, jumping, circle pitting, skanking, two-stepping, doing everything we can. I was in a car accident 2 days earlier and fucked up my back, and then had gone to the hospital. They were like, you should probably take it easy for a little bit. And I went, I'm seeing Bigwig tonight, and then tomorrow's Billy Corgan. I'm just going to sit for that one. But I'm going to see Bigwig in a night or two or whatever it was. And I'm going to move. And I moved more for that show than I had probably ever moved. I was so stoked on an old school show for me coming back. I went crazy, and for 3 days I could barely move after that. It sucks. Getting old sucks, but also dancing after you have a possible back injury in a car accident.
That was really the Uber accident.
Yeah, that was my Uber accident where my Uber T-boned somebody.
And there's also a band from Nanticoke Straight Edge. Nanticoke, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Right.
You guys don't know
SXE.
You guys don't know the name of the band that I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
Pussies! Strength for a fucking reason, man.
Didn't know if they were from there or not, but I was waiting for Strength for a reason. Two bands I've been waiting for.
The songwriting.
Yeah.
And, Carl and Jack together is just, as far as, Sick of It All is my all-time favorite hardcore band only because they started such a long time ago.
Yeah.
But if I was born when Strength for a Reason first was born, that they would be my ultimate. Every song they fucking do, man, from start to finish, just, it makes me want to fucking move, bro.
Well, I gotta say, I got a little bit of experience with Strength for a Reason.
They played
back in the day.
Toast.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I saw them at Toast. I saw them, and then I would see them in Wisdom, like here and there. And I always felt I am not tough enough to be at the show. I need to stand in the back. I need to stand with the girlfriends in the back of the room, because it's just, I'd rather appreciate from
We need
afar.
you too, bro.
You need me too. I'm still buying a ticket. I'm still buying a CD and shit like
awesome.
that.
Contribute to the band, bro.
You gotta. You have to. But I think those are the two bands to me. Wisdom in Chains and Strength for a Reason. If I was going to say the local, our hardcore scene, you can kind of boil it down. It's not immediate local, but it is our area. I would say those are the two bands that most of my friends that were into hardcore, Rich, James, everybody that like really pushed me to get more into that stuff, whether they know it or not, those were the bands that everybody had a Strength for a Reason Dare shirt back in the day. That Dare shirt that just said SFAR across it. It looked like the Dare font and everything. Almost everybody I knew had that. And then Wisdom in Chains was just a band that you could just bump into somebody in the band on Main Street just walking around.
Or Weiss, like we were talking about before.
Or just at Weiss.
Like running to Tony or whatever it might be.
And I was always curious with those bands. They had a lot of local respect, and I feel like those were two of the bands that got out of the immediate area enough to have a little bit more of a wider scope on things. Do you think there were any bands that, not to label things with success or not, but to also label it, do you think, what other bands do you think from the scene got more like maybe notoriety, national recognition? Is there anything that was like the biggest coming out of here that maybe we don't think of, like looking back on it years later?
I mean, I thought you were going in a different direction with that. I thought you were going to say, like, what band, like, didn't.
Oh, both. Let's do both of them. If you have that, if you have the band that didn't, let's go with that. Who is the band that didn't get the recognition that you went, what the fuck is wrong with everybody?
No One's Hero, bro.
Is that the band?
No One's Hero.
That's the band
They were supposed to be on the original New York City's, like, hardest CD. It was the original one.
Right.
And a fanzine came out, whatever. They sent the demo. They're like, yo, we love you guys, man. You know, whatever. And they got sent back a letter or some shit like that. Like, yo, your lyrics are too depressive. I'm like, wait a second. That's what
you can understand the lyrics.
Yeah, that's what hardcore was about, though, man. It was like mind shit, bro. It was like, you know, life.
You are working. You're not screaming because you're happy right now.
Right.
You were screaming because you need to get shit out. You were.
And they weren't even. They're not even like they're real melodic, man. It's like very like you could dance to it, bro, but it was very melodic. You could understand lyrics. They're my boys, man. Dysphoria, musically, as a whole band, they just killed it, man. They killed it. But like Wisdom, let's just go right now.
Yeah.
Wisdom, Richie, Jotham, they deserve everything, bro.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, Richie started this shit, man. He started the stuff around here, and he built it, man. He did Crutch. He was in Come and Correct for a minute.
Right.
Box Cutter, which was like very short lived. But
good name for a band.
It was. They weren't allowed to put it out at first, man, because that's when the whole 9/11 shit.
Shit. Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. But
too bad
it was kind of rappy core and stuff like that. But Richie and Jotham with Feeble and whatever. Now Evan's in the band. Evan's my boy and shit, man. He was in what was that boy name, man? Five Driver.
Maybe. Oh yeah. Five Driver. Yep.
And he was in some other bands too with the cross-dresser guy. I forget, from Wilkes-Barre.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that. Yeah.
And, you know, I love those guys. Yeah, as far as Wisdom, I mean, they tour now, bro. I mean, I was in Europe, in Holland, right, with a friend hanging out. I'm like, yo, man, Wisdom's playing England, you know, Sick of It All, and fucking Knuckle Dust, bro. Knuckle Dust is like the England version of Madball.
Okay,
right?
Okay, yeah.
So she goes, you want to fucking go? I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to go, dude. We drove from the Netherlands through fucking France, stayed in France, got on a ferry with our car, went over to fucking England, went to a club, the Underworld, which is crazy.
Nice.
Wisdom in Chains, Sick of It All, and fucking, Knuckle Dust, right?
Yeah.
Tony was there. Tony was still in the band, right?
That's sweet.
This is crazy, bro. The dude that was like driving them around, me and my girl were walking around, checking shit out, and he goes, "Are you Walt?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro." I'm like, they described you to a T, bro. Come on, right? So he brought me outside, down a basement, up a basement, to the fucking studio, and to where the show was gonna go.
Yeah.
They were doing their fucking band practice, right? So they all got their backs turned except for Jotham. Jotham sees me.
Yeah.
He's like, "What are you doing?" Because I didn't go with them. I wasn't like a merch guy.
Showed up.
Right. So everyone's got their back turned, like tuning shit. One by one, they all turn around, man. Big Show, Tony. I don't know if Evan.
Well, speaking of Evan, Chuck is saying that Evan was in the overdrives.
All right.
Overdrives. There you
Look
go.
at that. What I say?
Yep.
Five driver.
Yeah, so
Other one.
yeah.
I think
remember.
Richie was
I
a
used to
five
love the
driver at one
overdrives,
point,
too.
right?
No,
No. Who was somebody else?
Richie-
Else.
there
I
was
used
a
to know a guy in five driver, and he told me a little bit about the history.
There was
but
Richie.
enough on
There was
that.
a Richie in overdrives.
I thought so.
Yeah.
I thought there was. Okay, so not
Yo,
Richie
but
Crutch. No,
Tony,
yeah.
we were talking about before, Tony
Yeah.
Meltdown. During the show, I'm hanging out. And my voice is carrying, I'm drinking beers, getting fucked up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Right? Every time he turns to me, he's like, I can't believe you're fucking here, bro.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you doing here, man? I'm like, I'm just hanging, bro.
Well, I've heard a lot of stories, not a lot of stories, I've heard a good amount of stories of people that have gone to the UK, mainly in metal bands, hardcore bands.
Oh, it's big over there.
And
bro.
when they go over there, and actually Sean's in the chat here, I remember talking to Johnstone years ago, and when Kevbo joined up with those guys in the Ninth Plague, obviously formerly from the Ashtray, as you call them,
Right.
I remember hearing from like Kevbo and those guys or whatever, when they went to the UK and they toured, they were just like, dude, we were at a show, people knew the words to our songs.
Right.
And I listened to like Pain and Pill Form and like that release and everything, and I'm like, I listen to this probably like every other day. I don't know the lyrics to these songs.
Yeah.
And these people, and that just proves the pulling power of the UK and Europe altogether, and the dedication of the fans to specific genres.
Well, we were
But
talking
the
about
reason
that
for that,
earlier,
though,
though.
Yeah.
it's like you don't know if American bands know in Europe, they're not sure if they're ever going to come back.
Sure.
But nothing to take away from that scene though, because that show, all right, it was Sick of It All,
Yeah.
big band, okay,
Right.
It was probably about a 300-400 person, whatever. Sick of It All, Wisdom in Chains, who only were just starting to go. They didn't get no royalties yet, and then Knuckle Dust, who played there probably every other weekend.
Yeah.
The place was fucking packed, bro.
Fuck yeah.
Packed, right? Jotham, right, gets on stage, right before fucking Land of Kings, Pennsylvania.
Funny thing about that
I
song-
fucking love you, right?
The funny thing
Right
about that
before-
song is I've run into friends from this area that have moved away and didn't know about Wisdom,
Oh,
and
shit.
have caught shows with Wisdom, and then they're like, have you heard about this band and the song Land of Kings? I
Yeah.
feel like I'm back at home. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, where the fuck have you been, dude? Like,
Yeah, were you just not going to shows your
Yo,
whole
right
life?
before that, like Jotham's such a he is a he is and if he wasn't, he needs to be like a front man for a band. You know what I'm saying? He gets the crowd going, bro. He goes and he's like, yo, here's our friend Walt, right? He drove all the way from Pennsylvania to tonight's show. And you see the crowd like, what? You can't fucking, right? He's like, yo, Land of Kings, bro. I'm like, yo, what up, man?
So what would you say to kind of we again could go on for like 4 hours with you talking about local music and everything, and we're not done quite yet, but I do want to ask you what is the band that is your favorite to see live, whether it's local or not, and then what is one band that you always wanted to see live and for whatever reason might not have gotten a chance to see?
Well, going back to my youth, definitely Iron Maiden.
All right.
Maiden's my shit. Maiden's my all-time favorite band. Steve Harris is God on bass.
Do you ever think of calling yourself the Meter Iron Maiden? Let's continue. Let's go on to the next question. Here. I guess that didn't go over so well. All right, so I'll see myself
I'm not
out.
laughing.
I'll see
I'm
myself
not
out.
laughing.
Don't worry about it. So Iron Maiden in your youth, Iron Maiden in your youth. What about the
No, we're not done with this yet.
by all means, he's right there.
I'm right here.
He's
You've
right
got
there.
plenty of cans and bottles you can throw.
We might be split up on the internet, but he is literally right
Yeah,
here.
I am right here. It might look like he's in a perch and you're in a perch, but we're all right here.
Hey, who's the geriatric over here? You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A Jerry of some sort. I think it's more Jerry Lewis, but okay, yeah, geriatric. Peel into our French crowd here, all right?
yes.
Peel into our French crowd with the Jerry Lewis jokes. They love Jerry Lewis.
Yes.
Well,
So what was the question before you?
So before I made that amazing comment, it was what are bands that your favorite shows
Shut
to
up,
have
Mikey.
seen, and then your
There's the door, my
the
friend.
bands that you wish you got to saw and never got to.
Well, one band
Got to saw. I heard that as it said it. Got to see.
Sheer
not saw.
Terror was a band
Okay.
that I always missed. The band was always breaking down, or I couldn't make it, or something like that. But then I saw them, and I was really fucked up, man.
Okay.
I had a lot of cookies that night.
Oh yeah.
So I don't really remember seeing them.
So you might as well have not seen them.
I did though.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think I've seen all the bands that I think I wanted.
That's
seen.
honestly one of the best ways to answer that question.
Yeah, I
That-
mean, there's
that
a
is
few bands.
life fulfilled
There's
right
a
there.
thrash metal band called Violence.
Okay.
If you like thrash metal,
Okay.
you need to listen to Eternal Nightmare, because Eternal Nightmare will fucking make you shit your fucking pants. Because like before thrash metal,
Yeah.
Right.
and Violence made thrash metal, and anyone that has a problem with that, I will fight them to the death, because
right.
they all know
If you have problems,
Violence.
let him know.
Violence is thrash metal.
Right.
That's probably the only band I wish I would have seen live, and I could have seen them live though, but it's like they're 50.
Yeah.
They're
yeah.
not
Right,
still
right, right.
thrashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not still thrashing and stuff like that.
It's hard
you
to
know?
thrash after.
You guys are thrashing together, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, there might have been a couple like overseas bands.
Yeah.
Maybe I wish I could have seen or something like that, but I never really sweat that. But I guess like honestly to say, I mean, if there's one band I wish I would have seen live, was definitely this band called Violence with a hyphenate. It's VIO,
VIO.
hyphen Violence.
Okay.
You guys ever heard these motherfuckers?
No, never heard of
What
them.
the fuck is
Gotcha.
wrong with you, motherfuckers?
A lot of
bro?
things,
Oh,
but
man.
the music is only part of it. What's
I will
wrong with
refrain
it?
Yeah,
from
I have
answering
no
that
idea what's
question.
going on because I never got into hardcore.
Yeah, he's not a hardcore
It's alright.
guy. Yeah,
This is
yeah.
thrash metal. Though.
Yeah.
I do like
Although-
thrash, so
Yeah.
I'll have to look it up.
Although there are you have expanded, because
Eternal Nightmare though.
when I first met you, you really like you had some metal roots, but you weren't like into like you didn't dive deep into a lot of the stuff that you listen to now. Like
Yeah.
when I first met you, if I was like, "Hey, here, listen to Morbid Angel," you'd be like, "Fuck you, no." You know what I mean? Like,
What's up, Jersey?
you know, you wouldn't.
I do
You
like
wouldn't.
Morbid Angel now, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like you've gotten into more stuff. Like
And
I was
that's
the
honestly-
opposite. As I grew up, I was more into metal, and then I'm like, oh, maybe I
I
should
would say
listen to some
I
rock.
was
Maybe I
not
should listen
metal.
to rock.
I used to staunchly oppose up until I got introduced to the local hardcore scene. Really, I staunchly opposed things that I couldn't understand the vocals. So it's like, what is the point? What is the point? And then I went and saw a show, and then I read lyrics from bands. I went, oh, I get the point. I get the point now. You wouldn't be pretty singing these lyrics. You
Right.
wouldn't be melodically, even though if the music is melodic, you're not necessarily going to be sitting here and singing out this. It is angst driven. It
at
is
the same
anger
time-
driven. It is there is fear. There's a lot of emotion going into a lot of these lyrics, and to get them out screaming. And
Sure.
as we've worked here on our show and worked on different vocal types for me, the screaming side of things, like being able to harness that. Now I said it before we went live, and we were playing you our song Interdimensional Hellfire from this summer. I wish I knew I had that in me years ago, because I could have been the fucking singer of a fucking hardcore band
true.
15 years ago, knowing that I can do that now. And one of the great things about growing up, getting older, and still sticking in the music is you don't lose the things you love. You just make the things you love way fucking bigger.
Right,
You expand, and you're not a 15-year-old kid who's a fucking shithead going, no, if it's not this, I don't like it. Fuck you and fuck your sound. You're not needing to battle with those people at a show. Right now, all of us, no matter what we grew up listening to, could go to a show and anything could be playing.
That's what I
And
did, bro.
We're going to have fun with it.
When we did the Underworld,
Yeah.
all right, there was a lot more shows than the big ones.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
We did a lot of local stuff, man.
Right.
I mean, people used to get mad at us for doing too much local stuff.
Shit.
And I would never forget this one show, man, right? There was 6 bands, all right? And we didn't do pay to play. Fuck pay to play.
Fuck pay to play for sure.
But we did. If you sell a ticket, we'll give you back $2-3.
Yeah, that was the nice way to do things back then.
There was a show.
Still
all
is.
right. It was like this low key. I don't even know if there's a genre for it.
Yeah.
It was a low key alternative, like very mellow kind of whatever.
Yeah.
There was 6 bands.
6 bands.
6 bands. All right.
Just mellow, low key.
6 bands.
How many people showed up?
11.
Oh.
Okay.
Not including the bands, hopefully.
Right.
All
Everybody left.
But still not
Terry walked out from the hey, Underworld calls on.
The Underworld calls.
He walks up to the fucking stage and he crawls. He crawls. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? I'm already loaded of drinking like a half a case of Mickey's.
Yeah.
Right? Doing security.
You ready to have some mud shits? Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, 6 bands. 11 fucking people, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel you, man.
Yeah.
That's
He goes,
rough. Man.
he's ready to give me my security money. I
Yeah.
keep that shit, bro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck. Well, I mean, we do have to say, I mean, to kind of like wrap everything up here and kind of put a pin on this, and obviously we're going to want to have you back
Yes,
to talk
please.
more about your vast knowledge and just, you like me, gift to gab, we could talk for fucking hours here. But you were somebody, as I started saying earlier, we'll call you the grandfather of the local scene. We'll give Richie his credit as the godfather. But you were somebody with places like, again, the Underworld, that you were always putting shit out there for everybody. You were somebody that if you were at the show, I felt that if a parent had met you before, they felt good with their kid being at that show.
I mean, Rich tells the story of like the first time he ever met you, where
Oh, with his dad?
yeah.
Oh
Like
my God.
he always talks about that story.
Yeah,
like,
and just being able to, not even if it was a parent related, just
I
walking
hated
into a show.
Richie.
Yeah,
Hated him,
yeah,
bro.
you hated him.
Like,
All right, let's go
move
with
your
that.
fucking drum set, bro. What the fuck are you doing? Calling your dad. No, don't call him. I gotta go home then. Just put it in one place, man. You have like a 24-piece drum set.
Of course, yeah.
You were the opening band.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you, bro?
Oh yeah. You need to bring every piece.
And I loved his dad. His dad's my boy.
Oh, his
Me and his
dad's
dad
great.
chilled out. We
Yeah.
had beers.
Yeah.
I don't know if we drink beers. I don't know.
He might.
Long time ago.
McGregor's,
Yeah.
maybe some Clay McGregor's.
I'm like, Richie, you gotta group your set together.
Yeah.
Do something. If your dad's not gonna come and get it,
He's-
you gotta group it
He's
together.
laughing in the
He's in the
comments.
chat,
He's
yeah.
laughing in the chats there. Fuck yeah. But again, you were such a huge.
I
part
love you, Richie.
for so many.
Love your little
of
brother,
us
too.
people that were going to shows. You were always a. You were just somebody that was the uncle, the big brother, however we wanted to look at it. You were the one stopping people
Thank
from
you.
doing windmill kicks
Thank you.
into little kids' fucking faces
Yeah.
and going, yo, we don't have to fucking be doing this. We can all have fun. And that is something that I think is missing in a lot of music maybe today, in a lot of the music camaraderie. I really want, after the world can slowly get back to normal, I think we are going to see a push of local shows
I
because
hope
people
so.
have been starved for so long right now.
I really hope
And
so.
I can only hope that on the Stroudsburg side of things, the Pocono side of things, that you're sitting right where you belong, right there in the mix of everything, helping all of us get what we want. We want to play shows. We want to go to shows.
Yeah.
We miss it. I'm going to cry all night about it, man. I'll cry for fucking forever. We miss it. We only play one show a year, and we missed
And
our
we
one
couldn't
show.
play our one show.
We
this
couldn't
year.
do it, and honestly, I'm just ready to jump back into it. I'm ready, and I feel like a lot of people are missing out on that. And while missing it sucks, it means that there is something to miss, and it means that there was something here, and that means that there's something that could be rebuilt and regained.
If you're not doing anything now, pick up music again.
Yeah, pick up
You got
music.
time.
Get back into music.
The world's
Start
in a
listening
crazy
to bands.
place. Let's
Start
playing
finding
shows.
local
I know
bands.
Rich has been saying this for a long time.
Yeah.
If you're
It's
young,
nothing
pick
new.
up music. If you've been playing, if you're
Yeah.
a musician, get back into it.
Fuck
Form
yeah.
a band, play.
Yeah. Well, all right, to wrap it all up, Walt, thank you so much for being here, man. Fucking love you, like, from the bottom of our
Yeah, man,
hearts.
seriously,
This
thank
is
you.
the guest that I have been writing on my list every single season of one day we'll get him on. And for the first couple seasons, I went, we got to get better at what we do before we get him. But now, like, we'll have you on pretty much whenever you want to come back on, man.
Yeah.
If you see Walt out and about, give him fucking high five. Fucking, or maybe give him
the coolest meter maid ever.
Coolest meter maid ever. Maybe a 6 feet apart high five. I don't know how you're gonna
Fuck
do things
that.
now. Yeah, give him a hug, kiss him on the mouth.
If you're a chick, I mean, I'm married. I shouldn't have said that. Unless you're my wife.
If you're a chick, don't kiss him. If you're a dude,
grab my ass.
grab his ass.
Dude, chick.
Give it a little tug. Give it a little tug. All right. So thank you so much again for being here, man.
Not doing the floods thing?
Also, real quick, before
right,
you get into it,
right.
I think
We
we
gotta do the
should.
floods thing. We do have to do the floods thing.
But also, Rich gives you a big thanks. He says it's his first show. Thank you for showing him the way.
Fuck
Richie
yeah,
Blackmore?
Yes.
Oh yeah, man.
Love you, brother.
All right, so quickly to wrap this up, we'll for real wrap this up with this. How did you, as I heard it, get banned for life from floods? Because I've heard it a bunch of ways.
You're not still banned though, right?
No.
You've been unbanned. Okay. How did this go down?
All right. I might have it wrong.
All right. Probably more right than any of us, including Psycho, can remember.
All right. And I apologize if Mike's listening.
Never.
He's not listening.
Mike's not listening.
Never gonna hear this.
It was Patty's Day.
Yeah.
It was St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
I'm fucking Irish. All right?
A little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. We're at my house on 8th Street. We're drinking beers. Getting loaded. Right? Hanging out. No Dropkick Murphys are playing that night on Letterman or something. They were playing, right? So we're like, oh, we're cool, man, whatever. All of a sudden, people started bouncing, whatever. My girl's like, I want to go out. I'm like, all right. So we go out. I pack little grenade Mickeys.
Yeah.
Pack them, right.
All the pockets.
Right. We start out at I think Sarah Street. We start out at Sarah Street. Go in there. I don't order a beer, dude. I fucking get a beer from. No one sees nothing. Right?
Sarah Street
I was
don't
an
sell
asshole.
Mickeys. They don't know.
Listen, man. I used to be an asshole, big time.
Me too. I used to be, still am, but I used to be.
But then we went to like Will Savinsky and Kimmy's house and Chris Brown, all those motherfuckers when they lived in the Lenape. We go there, we're drinking beers, whatever. I still got Mickeys in my pocket. We end up going to fucking front row. We go in there, drinking beers, whatever. We end up meeting Jeff Henry. He's an old school fucking skinhead friend of mine, whatever, man. Sorry for saying that, bro. But you're an old school friend of mine. We end up meeting him and his girl. We end up going to Floods. Right? We're in there. We ordered food. We got beers. I had the beers in my pocket. This is where it gets a little cloudy.
Right.
All right? This is where it gets a little cloudy. Waitress comes over. She's like, Walt, you need another beer? I'm like, nah, not unless you got a Mickey's. She's like, nah, we don't have any Mickeys. I said, no problem. I said, I got one in my pocket. She's like, oh, all right, no problem, right? All of a sudden, Psycho is in my face, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But like I said, this could be different, man. This could be different. This is
Multiple
how I saw it,
sides to
man. This is
stories.
100 years ago.
Yeah.
This is 100 years ago.
And you were shit-faced while it happened.
I was a buzzing.
Yeah.
I was a buzzing. All right? Well, we got food. We got pitches. I was a paying customer, not asking for special treatment.
Yeah.
All right? But he had some issues with me, bro.
Okay.
All right? I used to walk into places like I owned it, whatever. All right? He comes over. He's like, Walt, what's in your pocket? I'm like, oh, Mickey's. Straight up. I think I said that.
Right.
So he goes, he's like, I need it. I'm like, all right, no problem. So I take it out of my mind. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm fucking wasted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, you gotta give it back though, right? He's like, I'm like, oh, really? So I get a grip of it. It's a grenade.
Yeah.
So he's holding the top of it. He's like, one of those like pulling struggles.
Yeah.
Like you gotta give it back to me, right? He's like, well, you give it to me. I'm like, no. Are you gonna give it back to me? Right? He goes, if you don't get rid of this, I will. Like, all right, dude, let go first. So he lets go.
Pop it. Chug it.
Oh, man.
That is what I heard.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right. He's like, fuck you. fuck you, get the fuck out of my bar, right? He brought up my sister. He knew my sister. I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe.
Right, I'll go walking out. Diamond Dave. You know Diamond Dave,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or the jukebox?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
He's the security guy. He's praying I don't turn ugly, right? Hey, Psycho's yelling, he's banned for life. Get the fuck out of here. I fucking blah, 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 blah. So I'm walking out, and Diamond Dave's like, please don't bother me. So I walk out, right? Dave's right there, right? He goes, he holds me. Dave holds me. I swear to God this happened. I can't imagine this, bro. He holds me. He turns to Psycho. This is the best, bro. This is what got me banned. He goes, so how long is Walt, like, not allowed to come in here? He goes, what part of forever don't you understand? He's like, oh, all right, yeah, do whatever.
Oh, now how long then after that was it that you were able to go back into Florida?
It was close to 10 years.
Jesus.
But Foxy
Yeah.
said, why you banned from my bar?
Yeah.
I said, I don't know, man. She goes, you are not banned from my bar.
Right.
Fuck yeah.
I wasn't banned from day one.
Yeah.
I just respected
The saying.
that I knew I fucked
that
up.
day.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Fuck yeah. I gotta say, I was kicked out of Floods one night, only one night. I had done a bunch of homemade Irish car bombs with my now brother-in-law. I sat on the hood of a car outside of Jock. I pushed through a bouncer at Jock and Jill's, walked right in, grabbed beer. They were kind of like, it's Kyle, like, you're good. And then I was just riding high, and I went over to Floods, and I sat on the hood of a fucking car, and someone told me I put a cigarette out on the car and said it was my car, don't worry about it, and it was not, and walked away. And then I was at the door of Floods, and someone comes up to me, foreshadowing my job later as the door guy at Floods, and hands me their ID, and I'm shit-faced, and I look at it, and I go, all right, $3, and they handed me $3. And then I just kept doing that, and I kept charging a cover to Floods, which has never had a cover.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, Psycho comes to the door. He goes, Kyle, or no, I walked inside. He goes, Kyle, were you just standing outside? And I went, yeah. He goes, were you charging a cover to get in? I went, yeah. He goes, yeah, you're done for the night, man. Just, you got to get out. I woke up the next morning with $33 in my pocket, so I'm assuming in singles that I charged 11 people a cover to get the Floods. Only 11 people ever to get charged a cover, ever to get into Floods. And it was only for one night.
I've been kicked out of Floods for the night.
Yeah,
Like,
for the
Joey
night.
has definitely come up to me
like, you're done tonight,
Zach,
you can go.
You need to go home.
Yeah.
I've never been kicked out of
okay.
Floods.
Yeah, you're a more docile creature than us.
But there's one thing in your story that Fitton would probably.
Oh, the Irish car
recognize.
bomb?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you might as well just said you were drinking some 9/11.
Yeah. I walked into fucking Jocks one night, or Grace O'Malley's, and went on up to fucking Fitton. I was like, hey, I forget who I was with, and I was like, hey, can I get 2 car bombs? And Fitton goes, go fuck yourself. What if I walked into one of your bars and ordered a 9/11? And I was like, I guess that's pretty accurate. That's pretty close to it. But yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad we got the Flood story in there. Well, again, thank you so much for being here.
man. Thanks.
One more thing.
Yes,
One more thing.
Do
One
it.
more thing.
Do it.
Big show. Greg Larson. You are saved. Till next time.
Oh,
I won't tell you. I will
we-
tell everybody the full story.
Oh, fuck yeah. There's a little teaser for next time.
Fuck
Big
yeah.
show. Mr. Larson gonna get called out on some shit. All right, guys. Well, as always, a big shout out to our producer, EJ5000 over at Moot.tv for getting this out to you on all podcast formats. Go check out Let Me Ask You a Question, the Derek D. Dozen and White Wasabi with Sensei Match. His name's Sensei Match.
Yes.
I thought it was Sensei Mike for all of this time. I don't know where I read that wrong. But there you go. Go check those shows out. Our other friendly podcast you can go check out, But What Do We Know, which we do the theme music for on that. Go check out Sean and Dave Make Music, and the second edition of Zachary and I on Not Movies will be coming out shortly. So you can check that out. The original one, or the first one, Alert, is already out. So go check that out wherever you get podcasts. Again, a big shout out to our friends at Beyond The Styx, the French hardcore band that we featured tonight.
Yeah.
At Beyond The Styx on Instagram to find out more about them. A big thank you to Mr. Justin Olapeno, as always, for getting everything put together. Yeah, round of applause there.
Thank you.
And big thank you to Mr. Zachary.
You don't know hardcore.
Stormin. All right, guys. For Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up, I am Kyle Mocha. We will be back next week with our 100th episode.
Oh, yeah.
Woo! Thank you so much
We
for
made it.
making these 100 episodes what they are, everybody.
Thanks for everybody
we
chatting
will
tonight.
see you next
Seriously.
week. Thank you, everybody in the chat. We didn't
Sorry
have
we
enough
didn't get to
time to get
everything.
to everybody, but love you all. Thank you so much. We will be back again next week. We'll have James over here. We're going to be drinking some champagne, some fancy beers,
We
and
got some
celebrating.
other things in store.
We got some other things in
James
store.
O is-
James O for number
It's always a
100.
good episode.
It's always a
Yeah.
good episode.
James O?
Oh,
James,
James
like-
O. Litz.
It's all
Our buddy.
James O?
Yeah.
Come on.
Lefty, yeah. You know him. You know him. You love him. All right, guys. As always, to wrap it up,
Fuck you!
fuck the fans. All right, fuck the fans and
TV.
Jeff Buckley.
There's nothing more egomaniacal than singing the theme music for your own show. Who am I? Kelsey Grammer. If I could only drink like him, we're gonna write a new one every week. Some will be solid, some will be weak. We're gonna write a new one every week. Some